Welcome.
Welcome back.
It's been quite a long time.
8 days.
Yup.
8 many long, lonely days. That's not true. We've been doing many things like
Going on holiday.
extra bonus holiday and birthdays were pretty big yesterday. All right. So, welcome back, Papa Weird and
Weirdling
yes, very much.
with
Oh,
Jeff
Jeff
and
now. Wasn't it Gus?
Gus.
Jeff, Gus. My name is Gus. How'd you forget your own character's name? Oh my god.
It's been a while. I'm
It's been that long. Uh-huh. Are you sure you're with us? Are you the real weirdling?
Yes.
You're not some aberrant, alternate dimensional one?
I'm sure I'm the real one.
Alright, and this is a new print off for the campaign that I'm playing that's coming out soon.
It's the Barbarian.
It's the Barbarian. They're werebears with barbarian abilities, and because they're elvish, obviously they have elvish accuracy. So, anyway, for those at home playing who want to know what that means, they get to grapple and push you over and hug you extra amounts. Alright, lots of fun.
They get to hug you more.
And longer, and with teeth, because they're werebears, so they bite you. Alright, let's not talk about them anymore. Okay. We have to do the changelog catch up first. Where do we get to?
Oh, I think we got up to...
I think we did last time through to 110. How many of those days were there? Oh, there must have been there. So we did up the inside of the water. That's right. We had a porthole in a portal. All right. That's actually a portal to the water dimension. All right.
And then there's kitchen.
Yes, and then we have a no, actually before that we have the lab. This is the lab first, the hexagonal lab. With our, what was it? Eye Drake in the middle. Now we've got to get around to putting in some wizard scrolls in there. All right. So I'm not sure. I intended for us to do that when we only had 1 or 2 rooms to go through. But since we got so many rooms, I might leave that till later. But anyway, we need to put wizard scrolls in there. All right. Then we had, very simply, the treasure room that looks like treasure hoard room that looks like a treasure hoard. There's actually a giant mimic in this, what is it, 25 by 25 foot space here. All right. The death cube. All right. Then we had, now the kitchens. Okay. So we had a kitchens. I drew it up. We got a bench that can come to life with some pots on a stove. All right. We got some dry store over here. We got some places to put some of the cutlery, dishes, pans, all those things. We got like a, what would be by our definition a freezer, but we've got called it the deep cold and a cold, right? So they can have frozen goods and stuff. So I've outfitted them with a modern by our and astrological standard. Sure, right? Kitchen, great, love it.
Now, first day.
All right, so we have a few to get. Yeah, sure. So corridor. All right, with murder comets. Find the murder comets. All right, where did the murder comets go? Well, I draw up the end of the corridor, which is very, very long here. All right, even without the illusion that makes it look like it goes on forever and ever. But eventually, assuming that everybody, they got their hands along the wall, they don't know how to see through the illusion. They've all failed consistently to be able to discern the nature of the magic, right? They walk down this long corridor, 200, 300. They think they're going crazy because there hasn't been any doors like there was before. All right. And then, at about 100 and what's their movement there? What's the movement of that murder comment?
About, where is 120. All
right. So at about the 200-foot mark down this 300-foot corridor, all right, so a bit over 2/3 of the way towards the end, all right, 2/3 away, they're going to trigger like a magical...
we can probably put like 2 or 3 meta comets in there.
Well, I was thinking 2. I think we had a look at the math on it, and I think, what CR are they? For 5? I think 2 is quite reasonable. 3 becomes deadly, is what we looked at. So
Oh yeah.
they're gonna walk through this area here, like a cross over a line. He's gonna fire up, and a couple of murder comets. All right, that's their tails. They're gonna start firing down this corridor towards them, and they'll have to deal with that before they get to the end of the door. All right, okay, that's a very simple one. Okay.
Yep.
So we got 2 times murder comets, and they are set for engage activity for attack, right? They're set for an encounter at the 200 mark, all right? 200 feet mark, all right?
And they will follow you.
Well, they're gonna, yeah, once they're activated, they're not gonna back off, all right? So they will try and chase you back down the end of the hallway and out through the starry door portal and back into the glade and down the road. These things won't give up. They move very fast. Obviously, you saw they can also obviously dash on their turn if they wanted to move twice. If they really need to catch somebody who's far away. So, yeah, very simple, very easy. Love it. Okay.
Now, the Office of the Magi.
All right. So I went through and had a look at some of the options just to try and streamline for today, all right, for the episode, knowing that it was going to be long. So I've had a look at all the different wizards, and I went to the Monsters of the Multiverse book, right? It's got a lot of different wizards at there, and I had a look at one, and mostly going to tweak that, all right? Okay.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have...
Oh,
where's your shape? No, roll a dice.
Oh, yeah.
Rah! All right, I'm not quite sure what noise barbarians make. I'm sure it's very much roar. We don't have many bears here in Australia, so it's other than koala bears, which technically
drop bears
aren't bears. Drop bears. What noise does a drop bear make?
That's
it's too late. You're already dead. You're dead already. It's silent. It doesn't matter. All right, so we don't have much familiarity with that kind of phenomenon. What do we got?
It's a square.
It's a square room. All right, because that's perfect for what I wanted. Anyway.
What do you want?
I didn't really care at this point for this room. What I really need is an entry and an exit. All right, we got another starry door portal. Okay, because this is how the mage gets off to actually see the dragon in their lair. All right, okay. So this is his sort of lair, his sort of office, and it is an office. He's got a central table. He's probably going to have some bookcases down one side. And he's probably going to have some shelving over here, like a cabinet for various devices and stuff. Okay. So this guy, how big is this going to be, do you think, this room? We roll a D6 and we'll get an order of magnitude. 1 being like a 10-foot radius room out to like a 6 being,
6.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's a very large room. All right. With a very large, from the center out to the side, we're going to say that that's 45 feet. So essentially it's a 90 foot across, all right? 90 foot square. All right, very good. With a table, got some bookcases, but let's get to the important stuff, right? Behind his desk, sitting back here is an Abjura wizard, all right? So
Pass me the book.
All right, at the back here, I'll find this one so you can have a look at it, right? Somewhere at the back here is all.
It's at page 260.
Did I write it down? Did I? You mean I was that prepared? I actually wrote it down. Look, Abjura wizard. Have a look at that. All right, show that one off. All right, is that camera better or this camera? Anyway, they're just a wizard, but they do abjuration, which is about defense and deflection and stuff like this, right? Okay, so that's what they're going to do here. They have mostly abjuration spells, but they do have a few extra ones in their abilities. They have a reaction, which is pretty cool for what they want to do, and I've added to that action as part of their lair actions. So that
they have lair actions?
Well, this is part of it. They've given it a reaction, which is essentially what lair actions are. They're reactions to the actions of the party. And this one fits. They can still use their arcane ward. But I've given them, assuming that it doesn't come back, I've given them the, for 1 point each, they can try one of their arcane bursts. So each of their turns, they can shoot out an extra arcane burst off as a point. They can't use it on the same person every single in the same round. For example, if someone used an attack on them, they got to use their retaliation on that person. If someone used an attack on them, they might be able to use their arcane burst to on their retaliation, but they can't attack the same guy that they've already done in that round. They have to wait till it goes all the way around and they get another reaction, and then they can kind of deal it out again. So that way it stops them from just like drilling one person with like, 3, 4, 6 actions of like arcane bursts every single round, all right?
Okay, that's
So-
fair.
So what we've got here, all right, let's get rid of this note and we'll deal with it. All right, so in this office, this rather large office, we have one-time Abjura wizard, all right? So to beef them up, all right, because they're not getting any magical items. Usually, of course, they not only have their abilities and stuff like that, but they'd have magical items by now and stuff for the people to loot. But the Moondragon literally has all of that, okay? So the Abjura Wizard, to make up for that, what we're doing is we're giving them plus 50 hit points, all right?
I mean, there are a
We're giving them a
challenge
boost.
9.
Sure, they are, but I would normally still give them other stuff, including minions, which they don't. Oh, actually, I think we said, or I said, let me have a look. I did want to, I think, give them, where is he? Here, plasmoids.
Okay.
So the question is, we want to give him some plasmoids, but I think we only just give him 2 of the little ones because they got 3 different kinds, right? So we've already,
2 of the explorers.
the
or something.
explorers were they? The little ones. Where are they? Past here. There. Explorers, bosses, and warriors. All right. So he's got 2. 1 Abjura, plus 2 plasmoid explorers. All right. Okay. So normally they would have other stuff like items and that around them, but they don't
the
have that.
dragon has it all.
Always. Lovely. All right, we'll get to that later. Okay, I think that's going to be tomorrow, the next day's problem. And if we actually keep up with our days, we'll get to it in good time. All right, so extra 50 hit points. And I'm giving them an extra spell too. The extra spell that I am going to give them.
Synaptic snap.
Yeah, Synaptic Snap.
Where's
all
that?
right.
In
Okay. That's in Xanathar's.
Xanathar's? Pass me the Xanathar.
All right, I've been into the books. I've been looking at all the books. All the books. All right. Don't knock over Gus or Jeff or Bob or Frank or whatever name he is. Excuse me, Gus, are you having a personality crisis? Oh, I know who I am. Is that how Gus sounds in your head? I am Gus. Yes?
No.
No? All right, whatever. Gus sounds in my head. Anyway.
That is the
Synaptic
spell.
Snap, all right. Snap. All right, Synaptic Snap. All right, have a look at that. It's towards the back. All
I
right.
almost found it.
I know, but then I found it so much more quicker by just turning to the page. All right, pass me that other book. Get it out of the way. Or, hold on. There we go. Read it.
Synaptic snack.
Synaptic Snack now. All right, sure, it's a snack. All right.
No, it's static.
Sure, of course it is.
The range is 120 feet. The duration is instantaneous.
I think I've synaptic snapped. All right. Sure.
You choose a point within range and cause psychic energy to explode there.
All right. Sure. Very good.
Each creature in a 20-foot radius,
Yes.
sphere centered on that point must take an intelligence saving throw.
Yes. Or what happens?
A creature with an intelligence or 2 or lower cannot be affected.
They're too dumb. They're too dumb to be hurt by such such highfalutin things as spells, right?
The target takes 8d6 psychic damage on a failed save.
Okay. So what does this spell sound like?
Death.
No. Well, sure. But what other spell does spheres?
The fireball.
Yeah. This is fireball for intellect. All right. So instead of targeting dexterity, which people generally have good saves in, all right, this goes after intelligence, which not everybody has good saves in. So I'm adding it to them, giving them 1 use of that a day. All right, 1 use a day.
That could kill the wizard.
That could knock out everybody in the group. Maybe not. 8d6 isn't that much. I think its average is out to 20-something, 30-something.
Let me roll that.
All right, 28 or whatever. I'm sure there's smarter people out there that actually have done the math many times over. All right, so I'm giving them that
86?
86. You want to have a look? Keep doing that then. Okay. So what I am going to also do is I'm going to give him, this guy here, some legendary actions. All right. Okay, so what that means is he's already got a reaction, like we were talking about, but the legendary actions allow him to do something as a reaction to something else, one of the other PC's actions or movement or turn inside their round. All right. Okay. So legendary action of they can
Okay,
either
I'm rolling.
use for 1 point because they get 3 points. All right.
So
That looks about average
11,
roll, I suppose.
12.
In your head, count in your head. All right. Legendary action here. All right. So for 1 point, okay, they can use their arcane burst. Okay, in retaliation to somebody doing something. Okay. And
29.
29. See, I told you, 20 to 30 or something like that, right? Average damage. I know what I'm talking about. Or for 2 points, and still with that recharge of 4 to 6, so they can't do it every single round unless it comes back on a 4 to 6. They can use their arcane ward. Okay, so they got different options.
Water.
Okay, so they got legendary actions. All right. They have legendary resists. All right. So this is almost like our first big boss. All right. Legendary resists.
Wasn't
Okay.
our first big
Times
boss
3.
the Hydra Hag?
Yeah, sure. But she didn't have legendary actions. She had legendary resists. And I'm not sure if we gave her Lair actions either. Because this one here is going to have Lair actions as well. All right. 2 of them. Okay. A or B. At the top of the round, at the 20, assuming that they're not beaten, all right, they can either, for the end of that round until their next turn, have, right, advantage on spell saves, all right,
Or advantage on physical saves.
Versus spells, all right, okay, so they can make themselves for a round more resilient on spells, or they can give themselves a +3 to their AC. All right, just
But
give
what if
themselves
they
+3.
roll like 20 on their...
There's no roll.
Oh.
That's a 20 no matter what, even outside of their actions. All right, their acts go at the top action at 20.
This one.
What do you mean?
Didn't you say it's active until his turn starts?
Until the start of the next round, until the lair action pops up again at 20.
Oh.
That's how lair actions work. They kick in at 20, they run for a round, or they have a use, and then they kick in the next time. All right. Okay. Legendary actions kick in as a reaction to a PC's action. All right. Okay. And legendary resists I just choose to save, full save, and they can have 3 of those per day. All right, per 24 hours. Okay. So that by doing all of that, it makes him quite a beefy encounter. Okay. Because like I said, doesn't have any magical items to cast extra spells or do extra funky things, and he should have at least 3 or 4 significant magical items by now. All right. So we're upping him in other ways. Yeah. Okay.
Just making him beefier.
Beefier with more actions and more things to do, and giving her some friends. All right. We all want friends. Yep. All right. Now, moving along very quickly. Here, at the end of the door. Okay, so you beat the guy. What here? You got another starry door. Okay, so we have another door here.
Another starry door like the door you saw in the what is it called?
In the grove, when they come in here, yeah. When they put the 2 dragon paws up against the side of the mountain, and they open up the doorway portal, and there's starry sort of like light and dark, like there's darkness with pinpoints of light through it, right? There's starry night on the other side. That one you can cross over in and out, right? It's an open doorway. Once you've unlocked it, you can go in and out, all right? This one here, though, once you go through it, it's just one way, all right? One-way ticket.
How does the wizard get back, though, from...
He's allowed out. This is actually into the lair, the domain. Like, this is actually onto the surface of a moon, essentially, a crater on a moon. all right, that we're going through, and he's allowed out by the actual dragon. You see, so they have dominion over their domain. Okay, so this is the cusp of that. Okay, so beyond here, they don't have any direct control. So the doorway that's created that sort of links all of these domains together between the original one and then the hallway, from the hallway in the room now into the actual thing. This is all a very temporal space, all of this, okay? But it's essentially been made possible through the researchers of the combined mage and the dragon together. All right, they've come up with this. They've stabilized this dimensional pocket, okay? Now, but the idea is that, yeah, this doorway here is only a one-way, directly into the domain and a crater for the moon, of a moon for the dragon to live on.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're just gonna draw a circle, right?
Yeah. So
big circle.
This circle. All right. So they come through the starry portal. They think they can get back like the other one. They can't. Bad luck. But then the people on the other side, they're not going to know that. They'll just think that like, oh yeah, sure, they've just gone through and they just haven't come back or whatever. You know, unless they set it up, test it first somehow.
They like put something on a string and then chuck it out and then.
Sure. I mean, the thing is, though, if they just put something living, not non-living on a string, it'll go in and out. All right. The doorway portal, the allowance, the of the dragon on the other side, the benefactor of this spell, this Aegeus, the seal, is providing it against living things and creatures. So maybe like even a Warforged technically has a soul, which is a living thing, and all the rules because there's some bio-organic material in them. All right. So even that wouldn't work. All right, so you put a cat on a leash across it, it's going to get locked off and it won't be able to come back.
Oh no!
All right, but if you put a picture of a cat on a paper across on a leash and just throw it through and pull it back like fishing, it's going to come back. Right? Okay. So, circle on a moon with a doorway right in the middle. Like, it looks crazy. You know how it is, right? Like, you see sometimes, I don't know, on the anime, we've got like the pillars that are just a doorway sitting out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like a entrance to one side or the other.
And then you look behind, you look behind it, and then it's just concrete.
Well, no, you just look through this thing, and there's emptiness on the other side. It's not until it's activated. So on one side, on the mage's side, you see stars. But when you get on the other side and look back through it, it's empty. It's just a portal of sticks of the doorway, the frame, right? So it's just the frame. Unless the dragon, the moon dragon, wants to allow you out of her domain, she won't fire it up. There's no stars there. That's what I mean. That's how it cuts off anything that's living or not. That's why it's a one-way trip. Okay. So just the frame, no stars. What you do see though, when you're standing in the crater and you're looking out of the crater, is off into the distance, like in the sky.
Oh, the sky
equals stars. All right. So you are actually now like on a moon inside the astral plane. All right.
How are you breathing?
The astral plane you don't have to breathe in.
Oh.
Okay. But within this plane here, it's like a demi-plane. All right. A plane within a plane. It's called a demi-plane. Within this demi-plane, under the rule of the moon dragon, then you have some manner of powers that are able to operate here on this moon that don't operate like an astral realm. For example, no, there is somewhat gravity, and it's more like a normalized gravity. You can't just think your way off of this moon, okay? Because when you're in the astral plane, if you want to, you just think about where you're going. And the intelligence of the person and any sort of like spell jamming ships or whatever you want that can move through that astral space, they propel it, but mostly on sheer intelligence. All right. So the issue here is that that's dampened on the moon's surface inside this crater, which is the domain of the dragon. It is dampened, but you see the astral sea. You see the plane off out in the distance, like we look up at night and see stars.
So say if the artists could manage to make like jetpacks for everybody, they could just go out into the astral plane.
So if someone was able to fly technically off the gravity of the moon into the actual plane itself, you'd have to test it. Maybe. I mean, I'd probably allow that. On a new astral
space adventure
without a spell, without the spell jammer, just floating through space. Some people at a different speed, right? Because you got to tell the smart people to slow down for the dumb people, essentially, right? And if they lose it, this is the other thing. If you like stop thinking about something, you lose your position and you have to restart it all over again, right? So say you get a map and it says 9 days of travel through the astral sea. Just concentrate on this North Star of this whatever, right? The swirly lights, and you will eventually get there. And like it forms in your mind, and you believe it, and you're on the way. And then something happens, right? You get attacked in the astral sea, and you stop concentrating on that. You start again. 9 more days on search for the astral sea, right? It's like Groundhog Day, okay? You have to make the trip in one concerted place, like a flow of a passage, because you are the vehicle and your mind is the
engine.
And the engine, yeah, through that vehicle. Okay, yeah, you stop, you start again. All right, yeah, good point. All right, beverage breaks. All right, a little bit of the iced peach tea here. All right.
Oh, is this your first time having the iced tea?
Yeah, this is all right. I think I watered it down a bit too much. A bit too much ice. All right, back at it. Okay, so we're in a crater on a moon. Just step through a frame, a portal, right? One-way trip. And you got out in the distance, you got stars. And up there's like a red glowy sun, all right? Red glowy light sun thing, all right? Glow, sun, light, moon. Okay?
Thing.
Yeah, very much. Okay, now there is a reason for it, okay? But unless you can, like, as you say, swim up through the astral sea to get there and take a journey of however long to reach your next closest, like, astral body, you're not going there directly, okay? It might make sense later on, but for now, what you see up in the sky, lots of stars, and one big glowy red one with, like, a haze around it, right?
Ooh,
red haze. Very
like
cool.
a foam.
Okay, so now in the crater we have 4 doors. Okay, 4 doors. Now these doors lead eventually, mostly, to the moon dragon. All right, this is just the arrival. This is the entryway. Okay. Now, also I think I put on here. Let me see. Inside the moon domain, in general, when you're looking at the book for that one, you'll see that it talks about the fact that it's very, very cold, very icy, very dark, and I'm pretty sure it also says in there that there's such a thing as moon devils. So there are on this thing here, 1d3 moon devils. All right, so the moon devils are actually just air elementals, essentially, with moon flare. Okay. So they look like air elementals, but they have a little glow to them. Look, moon devils.
Okay? Moon devils.
So they are air elementals that live on the moon and harass the people who come through the door if they're not meant to be there. And that's what they're going to be doing. All right, hanging out around. Okay, D3 of those. One of these won't be too difficult. They're CR5. 2 of them will be reasonably moderate to hard fight. And 3 of them, I'm pretty sure, is getting close to a deadly. So we don't need to put it in now. I'm just saying that on the day, you roll a D3. They might get lucky and only have to fight 1. All right?
But they might get unlucky and just might die because there's 3 of them.
All right. Now, okay. So the reason that we had the Copper Dragon being controlled earlier, right? The Copper Dragon. The one we worked out that is associated with acid damage.
The BFD, the big friendly dragon.
The big friendly dragon. All right. The reason that she is being controlled is because these guys here, the moon dragon, not only having her treasure and hoard, also has her baby. So in this room, do we want to roll up a room shape?
Take the books.
All right. You got your dice out? What's that?
10. Trapezoid.
Trapezoid. All right, so...
Okay, we have to get 3d6 out.
Yeah, okay. 3d6, how big is this trapezoid? All right, so we got the room here. That's off into the crater. All right, and we got a couple of directions.
This one is height. This one is wide. This one is the top.
All right.
So 1d6 high.
Okay, so it's quite a small room. It's
1d.
Yeah, see, one is like 5 foot or something, right? Each one of these ones is a 5 foot.
1 high.
But it's +1, isn't it? A D6 plus 1. So it's 2
high.
Yeah, so it's
6 wide.
It's 20 foot high. All right.
Like
20 foot high. This one, what did you say here?
It's just a square.
You said it was a trapezoid.
It's a rectangle.
You said it was a trapezoid.
Yeah.
You said it was a 10 for a trapezoid.
Yeah, but then I rolled the top and the bottom width.
You make no sense to me. All right, I'm saying out of your messiness comes a 50-foot room here, and it's got also a 80-foot on the back wall.
So
it's 20 foot high.
Be the egg on
room.
And on podium.
There's a little dais, right? Some steps to walk up. All right, so we got steps to walk up there. Okay.
Traps.
And then no, there is a trap, but it's not what you think. All right, I've already trapped it out. Have a look at this word. What does that word say? Find that in there. All right. I'm pretty sure it's in that book. Have a look in that book for that thing. All right. So we have some steps up to a raised platform dais, and we have a pedestal, and on the pedestal is the egg. All right. Okay. The egg. Okay. And it is guarded by invisible guarded by an what is it?
Deathlock.
Deathlock. Yeah, lovely.
But only one?
No. Have a look at one of the bigger ones. Tell me about the bigger one.
Deathlock Mastermind.
Yes, Deathlock Mastermind. Okay, so only one? Yeah, only one. All right, but they're invisible already. So the idea is that unless the guys come in seeing invisible, they're not going to know, but the thing's going to see them walk straight in, right? You see? Okay. So we also need to decide whether we're going to trap on this door. You might need to get your oracle out and do a flip for a trap, all right? You might need to do a trap flip.
Oh,
move my barbarian. I don't know, I haven't got a name for my barbarian. I think I might call him Ben. I think Ben's a good name. Ben. Oh my God, it's a tongue twister. Ben the Barbarian, yeah. Ben the Barbarian. Is there a trap? Oh my God, he's killing himself again. All right. You find it? You got it? I'll give you another go. Nicely. Okay, over here. Doesn't have to be too big. Up and down. Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Did that fall? Okay. All right. We'll have to watch that in the slow-mo later. All right. So
there's a slow-mo.
Find the trap door.
Yes.
Okay. Find the trap business. Okay. So there's an egg on a dais with a deathlock mastermind guarding it. Who is invisible? All right. So they got to get past the trap. Get into here first. So we got the egg up here. All right. You got that on page still? Lightning. Sure, that's all right. I don't mind. Didn't we have lightning there before? Like a static field of lightning or something last time? Well, go again. Roll again.
Nope.
Oh, we've already got a monster.
16.
All right, 16. What does 16 get us?
Dazzle.
What does a dazzle do?
Save or roll from the hallway wandering monster tab. Nope.
Huh? What does it do? Does it like
roll a monster?
Or suffer disadvantage for checks in the encounter? No.
Save or roll on the hallway wandering monster.
Oh, and be surprised. How about we just take the charm? Charm's the next one. All right, we'll just. Oh my gosh, he wants to roll it out, folks.
10,
all right, we've got to get through it. Are we gonna get through it?
10.
Yeah, you gonna get through it with me? All right, let's...
Arrows.
Arrows.
Space arrows.
Space arrows from nowhere, from out of the astral sea. All right, so.
Yeah, but they're like.
Space arrows.
But they're hot because they're star arrows.
Okay, sure. From astral sea, space, star
and
arrows.
1d4 extra fire damage.
Okay. So they do arrow. So okay, is it just one shot on the person who's just trying to do it and then it's over with, or is it an ongoing thing? Is it something that fires off once?
It says arrow.
Well, because that's normally it would just fire off once.
Yep.
Usually they don't keep firing off and firing off.
And it does 2d8 damage.
All right. So we'll just say the once against the person. And what we'll say is they do an extra d8 fire damage, okay? So
and it does.
So you have to do a dex saves, all right, of 18, okay, or take 2d8 plus 1d8 fire as space arrows rain down upon you in their holy space arrow vengeance.
And
all right,
they have star bits in them. That's why they're fire.
Well, sure, they're not actual arrows. They're bits of stars. They just work like arrows, right? They're projectiles essentially, right? They're not okay. I think that's that one, right? We got an egg, we got a room, we got them sitting on a pedestal, we got a guard, and we also have a trap on the door. Okay, now other side, next side. This one here is okay. So if the egg is controlling the copper dragon, then this collar that we had on the white dragon, there's the controller in this room, right? For that collar. Okay, so take this off here. What's the shape of the room? Where's our room shape? That's a D10 you want, all right?
Yep.
Where's your D10?
In the dice bag.
Go on. Need another shape. This one's coming off the more sort of southerly entrance over here.
That is a oval. Another circle.
An oval. All right,
circle looking oval.
Okay, sure. In there, this one, right in the center of that is the controller. Okay. And it's more like an actual device, like a technology. All right. So it's like a dial, like on a dais. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like
so you twist it around
the pain.
Yeah. So you can come in there and like put a big paw on it and like increase the pain or whatever, right? Okay.
Open the door.
From here can speak, like when the dragon is in contact with it, can speak directly sort of into the mind of the white dragon under control. Yeah. So this is the place. This is the controller room, dragon control room. Okay. So there's a device in the center. Okay. And this device standing in front of this one, very clear. Okay.
Fire dragon.
No, fire giant. Okay. We've got a fire giant in here. They're very big of all the giants. You want to have a look? You want to have a look at a fire giant? Pretty sure it's in that one. Have a look. All right.
Would it be in giants or F?
Have a look in the index at the back. Looking for it. I'm going to have a quick beverage. All right. So we have the device. We've got a fire giant in there. And the reason why we need to be a fire giant is because the white dragon is associated with cold. So we need fire, something to associate with fire to counteract.
154.
And so other than it being just a room with a dais in it, there's actually elemental environment effect, all right? So part of this room, for whatever reason, sits on the plane of fire. All right, so this room...
Fire giant, huge giant, lawful evil.
Yes,
Challenge
all of those.
9.
Yes, all of that. Okay, so in this room, in the fire domain room. Okay, so it's a fire domain in here. Okay, so when you come in,
it looks like that Zelda guy who has what is it called? Orange hair.
This is where we're going to possibly have an environmental trap that could possibly kill the party at the same time and or before the actual fire giant does. This is why the fire giant, I mean, it can be burst down on their own. They're not unkillable, obviously. And if you got a group of 4 people with a dragon and the baby cave giant with them, and also a bunch of Fidozis and tiefling families, like a fire giant's not going to stand up to them much. All right, so but here in this little fire domain room, they're going to have to make a saves versus constitution, right? So a con saves of 16 every round there in this room, all right? Every round.
Not that high, but
no, it's not that high. Definitely doable. All right.
Let me just.
Well, you got to say what's your con bonus then? Like if you're a mage, you probably don't have one, right? So you can. Are you going to take a flat roll, or are you doing this like you're a fighter and you got a +3 con save?
I'm doing this like I'm a barbarian and I have 18 con.
Okay, sure. Then you probably got advantage on constitution saves. Sorry, you're probably proficient with them. So probably at least got a +5 or 6 or something. But anyway, well, 17 doesn't matter. Sure, you save.
But I'm just the wizard who has nothing now.
Sure. Great roll.
16.
Managed to save. All right. So the point of it is, though, it's only a little bit every round, or they're going to take 1d4 of fire damage. Right? Probably won't be much. And some people can even probably withstand fire damage through various resistances and items and stuff.
Don't we have an item that like resists fire damage?
Probably resist it or is immune to it or something like that. I'm pretty sure. Maybe there was. That's not the biggest, scariest part, a little bit of fire damage, right? That's just for the flavor and the taste, all right? The bigger point of it is that if you take fire damage here, equals +1 point of exhaustion, all right?
Oh, no.
Okay, you know what exhaustion does, right?
It makes you tired.
No, it sort of adds up after a while. 1 or 2 points isn't too much, but at 6 points, you die.
Just instantly?
You're just dead. Yeah, you take 6 points of exhaustion. On the 6th one, you're dead. All right, so this is why I'm saying that this is quite a dire room. We've got one fire giant in here against all the buddies and everybody and you and your friends, all your magic items. Doesn't sound like much, but the point is that, like, him plus the little bit of fire trickle damage plus the exhaustion every time you take that little bit of trickle damage, right?
Can hurt.
Yeah, sure. All to get a magic control, you could
just skip this room.
You could. That's the only idea of this room, is that there is this device in here. Okay.
If you want to be mean, you can just go in there, dial it up all the way.
Well, you've definitely probably, of course, dealt with the white dragon by now to get in here. So this room may not be anything of to anybody. The artificer, say, might come in here and be like, I actually want this.
I want this.
I want this device.
Give it.
I want to take the device off of its pedestal, and I want to understand how it works, and I want to use it to control things. All right? Because it is quite powerful in that sense, but unless you are very specialized and capable and have a way to carry it around, because it's quite big.
Big enough for a dragon to just manhandle it.
Yeah. It's got to be big enough for a dragon's paw to go on, right?
Probably as a footprint.
Right?
Like...
Yeah, sure. But like you said, they don't have to come in here. They can miss it entirely. Unless they really want to know what this device does, or this is sort of like
is that just like a red aura?
This is the full clear with no reason to full clear it, because it's actually just a trap for the point of just being a trap. All right, this is the red herring room. All right,
you don't even need,
unless you want the device. Okay.
To 100% clear this, you don't even need to go in here. The fire giant doesn't give you anything.
Nobody gives you anything. Yeah, you're right. There's no magical items in here. Right, except for the fire. It's just this is our story.
To map the room.
This is our storytelling point. Okay, this is so that we know that why the creatures have been controlled. This gives them a placement. It gives an effect. All right, like I said, they probably could come in and dismantle it if they have enough time and resources or interest to do so. But otherwise, they'll probably just come in here and be like, "What is that device? I want to have a look at it." And then they might even be angry that they've like risked their lives only to work out that this controls the
dragon that they've already killed.
That they've already killed. Right? And how does that feel then for the DM, who quietly sits behind their screen chuckling? Just
like snickering.
I managed to kill 4 members of the party, took out the giant and the Hadozi hermit. All for what? Nothing. Anyway, I'm not that evil. All right. So we're going to keep moving on. We've still got 3 rooms to go. How long are we sitting at? What are we sitting at?
40 minutes. These rooms aren't that big, aren't
they kind of are a little bit.
Tiny bit.
Okay. I know what we have for one of these rooms, but the other 2, I don't know. Because what these rooms are, sitting on the other side, okay, so this is over here. This is the device. Okay. These rooms are corridors behind these doors, okay, here. Oh, we didn't check whether we had a trap door. Do we have a trap door over here? All right. Where's your flip? Where's your coin?
Book.
Where's your coin?
No.
No trap on this one, all right? So that's the thing. They're going to think it's so easy. Let's go in there, obviously, right? It's not guarded, you know, right? Okay, sure, whatever. No trap. Yeah, so these are the down way, all right? So we have 1 going over here, and we have 1 to the other area, okay? Now, these rooms, like, where's my fingers? Are they on here? All right, okay.
Yeah.
So they will link back around and go underneath and dig into the moon's surface under the crater. All right, and they have a corridor, and they have a room with a guardian, and then they have another corridor that leads into the dragon. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna do. Oh, they have the 2 corridors that lead down, and then they are guarding artifacts. We're gonna have 2 artifacts in there. All right.
Okay, let's just quickly do these corridors.
All right. Corridors. Now, the idea of these corridors, so we got one comes down this way, all right, and one comes down the other way. Okay.
Done.
Not quite. They lead into chambers. What chambers do we got? Roll up some chambers. Let's go very quickly. All right.
Chambers. That's the item generator. This is the chamber generator.
All right. Okay. So, got these corridors that come down into the actual moon surface underneath the crater. You want to roll on one of these ones?
Yeah. Number 1 or number 2?
Oh, I don't know, because we're not going to be using all of the exits. They're only going to have 2 exits, 1 in, 1 out. All right. So I'm not sure if any of those would be good. Okay, look, we can do it like that and only put whatever. What is it? A D8 and a D10, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a D10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
3 for the D10.
Yes.
And then 1 for the... Yeah. Oh.
So it's mostly a rectangular room anyway. That's what I mean. All right. Because all of these rooms are mostly square or rectangular. You're not going to get much of a shape out of any of these rooms.
What about the next one?
All right. Not much better. All right. Come in here, do a mostly square room. All right. Okay. And in here is a guardian. Okay. You need to get past the guardian to get into the artifact that they have on the other side. And then on the side of the artifact room is going to be the entrance to the actual dragon. So they have a little artifact of the chamber. This is guarding the artifact, and it's also guarding their thing. All right. Okay. What's this guardian? We're going to have to go over to the actual computer, onto the donjons. I'll have a jump up there, and you can start rolling some dice. Get 3d6 out.
3d6?
All right. Swap over my screen.
5, 5, 4.
Have to... Just wait 1 second. I have to engage the... There? Got the right screen up?
Yep.
Great. What are we looking for? Okay, so...
I got a 14.
You rolled 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. A grey slab.
I know what those are.
All right, you know what those are. Write that down first. We'll have a look in a second. Grey slab and slad. There's people at home telling me how to pronounce it properly. All right. They're from the Monster Manual 277.
How do you spell it?
SLAAD.
Just a big A.
All right.
And a D.
All right. Let's roll again. Oh, from the Monster Manual 277.
Okay.
Monster Manual 277. Write it down first. Monster Manual 277. All right. Now count up your next dice. There we go. What's our next guardian?
16.
16.
A lousy Swallow Sword.
Lonely Sorrow Sworn.
But those are 2 9 challenge ratings.
Yes, they are. All right. Like I said, I'm assuming that these people are all juiced up with all the magical items we've got now, right? They all have magical items each. They've all got a whole heap, a bunch of extra things and tricks.
Are they
probably got pals?
in this one room or?
No. So on this room here, we've got a shape. Roll me a shape of a room. Where's your D10? All right.
10. We don't want to.
Sure. Give me another trapezoid.
It's another square. Circle.
All right. Sure. Great big circle. All right. So this one here before the guardian here, because then we got another artifact. We got another artifact here, and then we got a dragon over here. So Swaraswan, what page is that?
Monsters of the Multiverse 223.
Okay, so you know what the Sorrowsworn are?
No.
They are entities that serve the Raven Queen and live in the Shadowfell.
Oh.
Okay.
I wanna see what they look like.
Okay. Are they in this one?
Monsters of the Multiverse.
Oh, this one. And what's the other one? The slide. You find the slide, and I'll find this. What page is the Cyrus one?
223.
223. My favorite.
Salad.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, that's Cyrus one. Live in the Shadowfell. And I would say, doesn't say here that they do, but from a lot of the traditional stuff, the Sorrow Sworn, maybe the older third edition ones, at least, they used to serve the Raven Queen.
This is what a grey
slide. Grey salad, all right.
Salad, yep.
The grey salad looks like, all right. Why are they so bad? What makes them so scary?
Claws.
They got claws, poisonous claws.
I think.
And they got, look, they can shape change, all right. They can look like somebody. Maybe we have them looking like one of the races, a child. They look like a child from one of the races. Which child do they look like?
Like one of the, mechanical one looking things.
No. Just have them looking like a child from one of the regular races. Like, I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to roll the dice.
Oh, can I see
you're not good to me. No good idea.
Can I see this solo swan?
Sure, you can have a look at that. All right, you can show that one off. Have a look.
These are the Sorrow Swan. They're pretty weird. This one's the one we're using. The Lonely Sorrow Swan.
Halfling. All right. It's disguised as a halfling child.
Little
baby halfling child disguised as
He's very sad.
Halfling
child.
All right, halfling child. Okay, just sitting here in front of a huge door, guarding it. All right, but it's actually a grey slide the entire time. All right, lovely. The Lonely Sorrow Sworn guards this door. Can it? I'm pretty sure sit in the ethereal. Let me see. Nope. It does not say that they can just travel in and out of the ethereal, does it? Let me see. It needs company here. Thrives on company. What do we got for the smallest one? Do we have any small Sorrow Swans? We do. Quarters. Yeah, let's put a D. How many of these? D6 worth of these? What do you reckon?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Lonely Sorrow Swan plus 2 Wretched. 2 times. I've already said it.
I've rolled the dice 3 times. And the first one was a 1, the second one was a 2, and the third one was a 2. So I guess it wants to get a 2.
All right, 2 Wretched. All right, Sorrow Swan's in there, and a Lonely Sorrow Swan.
Because it wants company.
Sure, because it wants company. And all right, they don't look overly terrifying on their own. It looks like they're better to use them as a group. With at least 2 other creatures. Yeah. Otherwise, has disadvantage on attacks. See?
So take out the tiny
I think if it's got 0, okay, here we go. This is how we boost this one, okay?
Oh, gosh.
If at 0, Wretched, all right, okay, equals, we're going to give the give the Lonely the ability to summon 2 more.
Can it just summon them?
Yep. Out of the gloomy inkness of the ground beneath it, it summons 2 more.
If you've ever seen Bendy, it's like that.
Sure. It summons 2 more Wretched. All right, at 20, at initiative 20. Wretched at initiative 20. All right, very good. That makes him a lot more reasonably scarier.
Only when both of them are gone.
Yeah. If it's got, if someone like they're like, oh, we just wipe those little ones out, haha, and then at the top 20 it summons 2 more, and they're like, oh, aha.
Just kill 1 this time. See if there's anything different.
Yeah, sure, maybe only kill 1, because they don't do much. All right. That's very simple. That's all I want to do with that. Okay.
1.
These aren't trapped or locked doors. The Guardians in themselves have artifacts. So behind the grey slide, inside this first artifact room, I'm having a box. Okay.
Ooh, a box.
We have the merchant's box here. Okay.
What's that? DMG?
No. I just threw my pencil away. Okay. The idea of the merchant's box is it's a little bit bigger than about the size, this size, right? It's a little bit bigger than a lunchbox.
Bag of holding.
Probably a little bit bigger than a bag of holding, even. All right. Merchant's box. Okay, a little bit bigger than a lunchbox. And you say the magic word to open it. Okay, so you have to attune to it. So okay, you must attune to it. Okay. You say the magic word, it opens up, and you have a shopping list. There's like a blank ledger inside. Okay, book. Okay, so an accounting ledger. And what you do is you write down the magical item that you are looking for. Okay, and what you would like to have on the ledger, and you put it back in the box. Then on the next day, you open the box, and inside the ledger, it will tell you how much it wants. All right. Mm-hmm. If it's available in the ledger, it will have an availability column. It will have a cost column. All right. So you write down in the blank ledger, oh, I would like the Vorpal sword. So what happens is it closes. The next day you open it, it says Vorpal sword available, right? Because you got rolls. You got to make a roll to see about the availability. Okay. 25,000. So what you then have to do is put the ledger back on the bottom, right, and pour gold into it. Okay. It only takes currency. Okay, so you can't put other items into it to get other items out.
Put a credit card in there.
All right. Well, that's the thing. Maybe we do make it take items because they've got to get currency out. Okay. Right. So how do they get their currency to be able to buy things? Okay.
They have to do a sell option.
Okay. Well, that's it. Then maybe they do. So they got availability and a cost, or they got a sale. They got a sale column. Right?
And then you sell it, and then it's only 75% what it would actually be worth, because that's how games do it.
Sure. Yeah. You can work out that they're not getting quite as much return on their investment as a brand new item. Right?
They sell it accidentally, but then want it back, it's going to cost them more.
Really? There's no just click off the buyback option on the tab?
There's no Control Z.
All right. Okay. So put the blank ledger in, tell them what you want or what you're willing to sell. All right. And then what happens is it operates like a bag of holding. So you can physically put the mass of objects or money or gold or items into it, right? It distorts the time space to allow stuff to get in or out.
It only takes currency. You have to sell if you want to,
Well, you have to tell it that, so it opens up and you got the ledger, okay? And in the book, it's blank, okay? So you either write down the item and the amount of money that you're willing to sell, and then you close it, and then it will come back as approved, right? And then at that point, you put the item in, and then the goal will come back in, or it'll disprove it, all right? It'll say, no, I'm not approved, unapproved, okay? So
you need to sell it for a bit more.
All right, so we have a bank ledger, gives you availability of items, or you can sell them back, okay, by putting them into there. It takes 1 day to
transmute.
Yeah, 1 day for offer, okay, and 1 day to provide, plus 1 day to get the items back, all right? So it's not a immediate turnaround. You have to wait for a time for a response, and then you open it at sunrise the next day, and you'll get your response or your item to provide, okay? And so here's the percentiles. All right. So this is what we're going to be able to get. Some kind of artifact that is named that goes beyond the legendary boundary.
There's a 1% chance.
There's a 1%.
So say
1% for the unknowable artifact.
So say you roll D100. All right. I wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah, you have to roll. You have to roll 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
000.
And 1. There's your 1%.
Yep.
All right. Now, at 5%, okay.
You have to roll.
This is for legendary items that are known. Okay, for a named legendary item. Okay.
You have to get a 5. Or below.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I wouldn't get.
So then for 10% or less,
we'll have to get
we got the very rares, all right? And then at 20%, we got the rares, okay?
I wouldn't have gotten it.
And at 50%, the uncommons,
I didn't get it.
And 100% for common items. You just write down the common item you're looking for and you can put it in there. All right.
I got it.
Now,
Ooh.
if this thing sends you back a no, right? If it's a no, not available, you have to wait.
Another day.
No, you got to wait a month to be able to ask to see if that thing's in there. If no equals wait 1 month to ask again. Okay, so you can't.
If it's for
1 month, real like in game time. 1 month.
So 1 month just
To
not work.
No, it will work, but you can't ask for a Vorpal sword and be told every single day that it's there, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there until you get it. If you are told that something is not available, it's not available for a whole month or more.
Okay.
Yeah, you see?
I see.
So at that point, fishing for your 1% item, even if you're to try and do it every day, you're not going to get it because if you're told no once, you wait for a month. You come back, you're told no again, you wait for a month, all right?
You're going to have to do that for 100 months.
And you can only submit the book once a day, okay? This is the book submit, okay? The ledger and can be closed into the box, 1 per day use, okay? So you can either open it up and put it in there, and the next day open it and take it out. The next day you can put another interest in there or another question or a saleable item, and the next day take it out. So you can only open it to do one thing each day.
Okay.
All right, okay? 1 per day use. So this way they can have an ability to sell and buy items. All right? Very good. And we'll leave the next artifact and the moon dragon and all the things that are made the moon dragon and all of their hoard, all of their magic, all of their bits and pieces.
For
another day. Tomorrow's problem. Hopefully we get back beforehand. Yep. I don't think anybody else is having any more parties unless Mr. Barbarian's having a birthday party. All right. All right, Gus.
Yeah, but we think that's it for today. Yeah.
Oh boy. Thanks for coming along. Do the thing down in the comment stuff. Yeah, no hassles.
Belows.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Stay weird.